69%. That's the percentage of U.S. businesses that are started from a home, according to the Small Business Administration. Not from a sleek office, not from a co-working space with cold brew on tap, from a kitchen table, a spare bedroom, a garage with bad lighting. And here's the part that should keep you up at night. Many of those home-based businesses generate $100,000 or more in annual revenue. No lease, no commute, no overhead that eats your margins before you've made $1. After researching the business models with the highest profit margins and lowest barriers to entry, I found 9 that you can genuinely run from your house and still put real money in your pocket. Some of these will surprise you because they sound too simple. One of them will frustrate you because people are quietly pulling in $10,000 to $20,000 a month from their living room, and nobody talks about it. If you only pay attention to one business on this list, make it the last one. It's the one that's turning ordinary people into six-figure earners without ever leaving the house. My name is John. Let's get into it. Business 9, freelance bookkeeping. Let's start with something most people dismiss instantly because it sounds boring, and that's exactly why it pays. The global accounting services market is valued at over $682 billion and is projected to reach $986 billion by 2032, according to Grandview Research. Most small business owners hate doing their own books. They need someone to reconcile transactions, categorize expenses, and keep things clean for tax season. They don't need a CPA. They need a bookkeeper. And you can do that job from your couch in pajamas. Here's the thing most people don't realize. You don't need an accounting degree. Tools like QuickBooks Online and Xero handle the complex calculations. Your job is data entry, categorization, and communication. A single client pays $500 to $1,100 per month, depending on volume. Let's do the simple math. 10 clients paying an average of $800 per month equals $8,000 in monthly revenue. Your overhead is a laptop and a $30 per month software subscription. The profit margin sits north of 85%. And here's the part nobody mentions. These clients don't leave. A business owner who finds a reliable bookkeeper keeps them for years. You're building recurring revenue from people who pay you automatically because switching bookkeepers is a headache nobody wants. The boring factor is the advantage. Nobody's lining up to reconcile bank statements, and that means nobody's competing with you. Business 8, virtual assistant services. And this one sounds generic until you see the numbers. The global virtual assistant market was valued at approximately $4.6 billion in 2023 and is projected to grow at over 20% annually through 2030, according to verified market research. A virtual assistant handles email management, calendar scheduling, data entry, customer service, and dozens of other tasks that business owners need done but don't want to hire a full-time employee for. The startup cost is effectively zero. A general VA charges $25 to $50 per hour. A specialized VA handling real estate transaction coordination or executive support charges $50 to $100 per hour. Here's where the math gets interesting. 20 billable hours per week at $40 per hour equals $3,100 per month. But here's what nobody tells you. The real money isn't in selling your own hours. It's in building a small team. You land 8 clients. You hire 2 subcontractors at $20 per hour. You charge the clients $40. The spread is yours. Now you're making money on other people's time while sitting at your kitchen table managing the workflow. That's the shift from freelancer to business owner, and it happens entirely from home. Keith Cunningham writes in The Road Less Stupid that the best businesses solve expensive problems for people who can afford to pay. Business owners drowning in admin work are exactly those people. Business 7, online tutoring and course instruction. The global online education market is projected to reach $462 billion by 2027, according to Mortar Intelligence. And you don't need to be a professor to get a piece of it. You need to know one subject well enough to teach someone who knows less than you do. That's the bar. Math, test prep, language learning, coding, even chess. Platforms like Wisent and Preply connect tutors with students and handle the payments and scheduling. A tutor charges $30 to $80 per hour. Specialized test prep tutors for the SAT or LSAT charge $100 to $200. Here's the reframe that changes everything. You're not selling knowledge. You're selling outcomes. A parent doesn't pay $75 an hour for math help. They pay $75 so their kid gets into a better college. When you understand that, you stop feeling weird about your prices. Let's do the math. 15 sessions per week at $60 equals $3,600 per month. But here's the part that separates the $3,000 earners from the $15,000 earners. Group sessions. You teach 5 students at $30 each instead of 1 student at $60. You doubled your hourly rate without doubling your effort. Scale that model, add a recorded course on Teachable or Udemy that sells while you sleep, and you've built a home-based education business that compounds. Business 6, graphic design and branding services. Every new business needs a logo. Every existing business eventually needs a rebrand. Every restaurant needs a menu designed. Every podcast needs cover art. The global graphic design market is valued at over $57 billion and projected to reach $78 billion by 2030, according to IBIS World. And here's the thing about graphic design in 2026. The tools have gotten so good that you don't need a fine arts degree. Canva Pro, Figma, and AI-assisted tools let you create in hours what used to take days. A freelance designer charges $500 to $5,000 per project. A basic logo package goes for $300 to $1,500. A full brand identity kit runs $2,000 to $8,000. But here's what nobody tells you. The retainer model is where the real money lives. A one-off logo project pays you once. A retainer client who needs ongoing social media graphics and marketing materials pays you $1,000 to $3,000 every month for years. Land 5 retainer clients at $1,500 per month, and you're at $7,500 in monthly revenue. The startup cost is a computer you probably already own and $55 a month for Adobe Creative Cloud. And here's the pattern you'll keep seeing on this list. The boring, repeatable work is the profitable work. Nobody's excited about designing the 47th Instagram carousel for a dental clinic, but that dental clinic is paying you $2,000 a month to do it, month after month, while you sit at your desk in a hoodie. Business 5, copywriting and content writing. Every website needs words. Every email campaign needs a subject line. Every product page needs a description that makes someone click buy. And most businesses are terrible at writing their own. The content marketing industry is valued at over $600 billion globally, according to Statista. A freelance copywriter charges $100 to $500 per blog post, $500 to $2,000 per landing page, and $1,000 to $5,000 per email sequence, depending on niche. Here's the part that separates the writers making $2,000 a month from the writers making $15,000. Specialization. A generalist competes with millions of people, including AI tools. A copywriter who specializes in email sequences for e-commerce brands or sales pages for online course creators becomes the go-to expert in a narrow lane where clients pay premium prices. Let's do the simple math. 4 blog posts per week at $250 each is $4,000 per month. One landing page per week at $1,200 is $4,800 per month. Combine both and you're at $800 from your kitchen table. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of your competition quits within 6 months because they can't handle the rejection of pitching clients. The ones who keep pitching win. Not because they're better writers, but because they're the only ones still standing. Persistence is unglamorous, but persistence pays. Still with me? Good. Because now we're entering the part of the list where the businesses get more interesting and the income potential gets significantly higher. Business 4, social media management. Every local business in your town needs social media. The restaurant, the dentist, the auto repair shop, the real estate agent, the gym. They all know they need to post on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And almost none of them want to do it themselves. The global social media management market is valued at over $23.5 billion and projected to reach $72 billion by 2030. According to Fortune Business Insights. That growth is being fueled by small businesses that know they need an online presence but don't have the time, skill, or desire to manage it in-house. A social media manager working from home charges $1,000 to $3,000 per month per client for content creation, scheduling, community management, and basic analytics reporting. The startup cost is a Canva subscription and a scheduling tool like Buffer or Later, roughly $30 to $50 per month total. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't need 100 clients to build a real income. You need 5 to 8. 5 clients at $1,500 per month is $7,500 in monthly revenue. 8 clients at $2,000 is $16,000. The profit margin is enormous because your only real cost is your time and a few software subscriptions. And here's the pattern that keeps showing up. These clients are sticky. A restaurant owner who sees their reservations increase because of consistent social media posting doesn't cancel that service. They don't even think about it. The payment hits your account every month like clockwork. You're building recurring revenue from your dining room table. And the uncomfortable truth behind this business is that most of the work can be batched. You sit down on a Sunday afternoon, create a week's worth of content for all your clients in 3 to 4 hours, schedule it, and the posts go live automatically throughout the week while you're doing whatever you want. Business 3, web design and development. This is the business that looks intimidating from the outside and is surprisingly accessible from the inside. The global web development market is projected to exceed $89 billion by 2027, according to Business Research Insights. And the demand is coming from local businesses coaches, consultants, and professionals who need a website and have no idea how to build one. Here's the part most people get wrong. You don't need to code from scratch. WordPress, Webflow, and Squarespace let you build professional websites without writing a single line of code. A freelance web designer charges $500 to $10,000 per website, depending on complexity. But here's where this business turns from a project-based grind into a recurring income machine. Maintenance and hosting packages. You build the site once, then you charge $100 to $300 per month for hosting, updates, and security monitoring. Think about it like this. You build 30 websites over a year. Each one goes on a $150 per month maintenance plan. That's $4,500 per month in recurring revenue that rolls in whether you build a new site this month or not. The website is the project. The maintenance plan is the business. A Reddit user on the web design subreddit recently posted that he generates $12,000 per month from his apartment, with $6,800 of that coming from maintenance retainers. He set up over 3 years. No office, no employees, just a laptop and a coffee maker. Business 2, digital product creation. Here's where the internet actually delivers on its promise. A digital product is anything you create once and sell repeatedly with zero production cost. Templates, spreadsheets, Notion dashboards, Lightroom presets, printable planners, design asset packs. The cost of reproduction is zero. No inventory, no shipping, no warehouse. A customer in Tokyo buys your budget spreadsheet at 3,000 your time. The payment processes automatically. The file delivers automatically. You wake up to a Stripe notification. The global digital products market is projected to exceed $590 billion by 2028, according to Grandview Research. Platforms like Gumroad and Etsy handle the entire transaction while you sleep. Here's the math. A Canva template pack priced at $27 that sells 5 copies a day generates $4,050 a month. A Notion dashboard priced at $39 that sells 3 copies a day generates $3,500. The startup cost is $0 to $500. And here's what nobody tells you. The trick isn't one product, it's a catalog. Every product you add multiplies your earning potential without multiplying your workload. Chris Guillebeau writes in The $100 Startup that the most successful micro-entrepreneurs don't chase scale. They chase leverage. A digital product is pure leverage. You build it once, it sells forever. And the profit margin is 90% or higher. And now we get to number 1, the business I teased at the top, the one that's quietly generating more home-based income than almost anything else on this list, and the one most people still think of as a hobby, not a business. Business 1, e-commerce through curated product reselling. Not dropshipping, not building a brand from scratch. Reselling. You find undervalued products at thrift stores, estate sales, liquidation pallets, and clearance racks. You list them on Amazon FBA, eBay, or Mercari, and you sell them at a markup to buyers who value convenience over bargain hunting. The U.S. secondhand and resale market is projected to reach $73 billion by 2028, according to ThreadUp's annual resale report. Amazon FBA sellers report median annual revenues of $50,000 to $100,000, with top 20% exceeding $200,000. Here's what nobody tells you. The barrier most people imagine doesn't exist in 2026. Amazon FBA means you ship products to Amazon's warehouse. They store it, pack it, ship it, and handle returns. Your warehouse is a shelf in your garage. The profit margins run 30% to 60%. A $12 jacket from a thrift store sells for $65 on eBay. A $30 Lego set found on clearance sells for $90 on Amazon 6 months later. Let's do the simple math. Source $500 worth of products per week, sell at a 3x markup, and you're generating $6,000 in monthly revenue with $2,000 in cost of goods. That's $4,000 per month from a spare bedroom. And here's the detail that makes this number 1. Once your products are listed, they sell 24 hours a day. At 2 a.m., someone buys that jacket. At 5 a.m., someone orders that Lego set. You wake up, check your phone, and count the deposits. The system works while you don't. Now let me step back and tell you the one thing every business on this list shares. None of them require a storefront. None of them require employees on day 1. None of them require a degree or a certification or a 6-figure investment. They require a laptop, an internet connection, and the willingness to do work that most people think is beneath them or too boring to try. That's the filter. The boring factor keeps competition low, the home-based model keeps overhead near zero, and the combination of those two things is what makes profit possible from the start, not 3 years from now, when you've burned through your savings on rent and payroll. Here's what I've noticed after studying these models. The people who succeed with home-based businesses aren't the ones with the best idea. They're the ones who picked one, started ugly, and stayed consistent for longer than their excitement lasted. Let me tell you about 2 people. Rachel was 28 when she decided she wanted out of her 9 to 5. She spent 14 months researching the perfect business. She read 40 books. She joined 12 online courses. She built 3 business plans with financial projections and competitive analyses. She never launched. She's still at the same desk today, still researching. Her neighbor Marcus was the same age when he started offering social media management to 3 local businesses for $500 each. His first posts were terrible. His graphics looked like they were made in Microsoft Paint, but he showed up every week. By month 6, his skills had improved and his clients referred him to others. By month 14, Marcus had 7 clients, paying an average of $800 per month. He'd quit his job 2 months earlier. He still works from the same spare bedroom where he started. The difference between Rachel and Marcus wasn't talent, wasn't capital, wasn't connections. It was motion. Marcus moved. Rachel planned. Michael Gerber writes in The E-Myth Revisited that most businesses don't fail because of a bad product. They fail because the owner works in the business instead of on the business. Every business on this list is designed to eventually run on systems, recurring clients, batched work, automated delivery, so that you stop trading every hour for every dollar and start building something that earns, even when you step away. The question isn't which of these 9 businesses is the best one. The question is, which one can you start this week with what you already have? A laptop, a few hours in the evening, and the willingness to be bad at something long enough to become good at it. If this video made you rethink what's possible from home, hit that like button. It costs you nothing, and it helps more than you know. Subscribe if you want more videos about building real income without needing permission from a landlord, a bank, or a boss. Tell me in the comments which of these 9 businesses you'd actually start, or if you're already running one from home, tell me how it's going. I read every single comment. I'm John, and I'll see you in the next one.